Hey guys, welcome back. So for those of you that liked the last video I put up, which was the Hunter kind of melee setup, I have actually updated that. I'm going to be bringing out another video on that here pretty shortly after this one, I would say. But I had to make one for the Titan. It's very similar, to the Arc 3.0, kind of setup for the Hunter, run around melee everything, basically. This is for more of crowd control, so you can kill like a lot of targets with this. This is not as much for like higher tier enemies, much like the Hunter. Like you're not going to be over here soloing bosses with anywhere near as easy as you would with the Hunter with the setup for that. But this is still extremely fun, and I have not been able to take this off. I've even used this for the new King's Fall raid there for a while until I had to eventually plop on the Helm of Saint helmet there. But this works great. All you really need for this one is the Insurmountable Skull Fort, a couple mods which I'll go through here in a second. I'm going to start with the super here. So obviously it's Arc. I went with Thunder Crash because the damage is insane. It's still really fun. Thruster. The only reason I use this over anything else currently is because I've been using this more for lower tiered enemies. So just like cannon fodder enemies just running around murdering things. And this I have increases my melee. I get like 20% melee cooldown back every time I use Thruster. But I'm running that with Strafe Lift, Seismic Strike. This is like the shoulder charge. This is what I decided to run. I have not used Thunderclap yet. I'm sure this works the same, but this is just better. If you're trying to go like maximum speed, run around shoulder charging things, you're going to be killing like 5-6 enemies at a time, I recommend Seismic Strike. I'm running Pulse Grenade here. I am actually going to be swapping this out for Storm Grenade, only because I'm running the Touch of Thunder aspect. I kind of want to try out a Thunder Cloud that, tracks enemies and causes lightning down on them. So if you got that, if you got Storm Grenade, try that out with Touch of Thunder. That brings the aspects, which is Touch of Thunder and Knockout. So try these two out. Every time you defeat an enemy, you're going to get health and become amplified, which is awesome. So that's a thing too. Fragments. I got Spark of Beacons. While you're amplified, your Arc, Special Weapon, Final Blows create a blinding explosion. I'm running this fragment with the new fusion rifle from King's Fall. We got Spark of Feedback, taking damage. This is a new one. This is what I added to the Hunter. Taking damage briefly increases your outgoing melee damage. So if something hits you and you shoulder charge it, you're gonna do, I don't know how much it is. I have literally tested it for 2 seconds before I started this, but I know it is more. I have Spark of Shock, so your Arc Grenades jolt targets. Again, I'm gonna be running that with Storm Grenade. I have Spark of Resistance, just to give you more damage resistance, because who doesn't love damage resistance? Plus you get that plus 10 for strength, which with melee build, all you really want is 100 resilience and 100 strength. Everything else, kind of second to none. You don't want no mobility. You don't really need discipline. Intellect's kind of just whatever, because I'm running a mod that gives me tier 10 anytime pick up a well anyway, which I'll go through in a second. If anything, go for recovery. If you're gonna go for a third stat, go for recovery. That is that. Any questions about that? Leave them in the comments. I do appreciate the feedback the last video got as well on the Hunter. I'm hoping this will do pretty decent as well. This is also extremely fun. But to get into the armor, we have the Insurmountable Skull Fort. The reason this is so good is because kills with Arc melees. They give you health regeneration and restore your melee energy. So anytime you actually kill an enemy with a melee, you're going to get the entire thing right back. I'm running that with hands-on, so gain bonus super energy on melee kills. I actually have 2 sources of mods that increase my intellect gains. Harmonic Siphon, Rapid Weapon, Final Blows. This is actually, you don't even need this, to be honest. Run whatever you want. You don't need this. It just makes an overpower anytime you get a kill with a weapon that matches your subclass. Kind of whatever, you don't really need it. Well of Ions, picking up an Arc Elemental Well, which I make every time I kill something with Shoulder Charge. Causes your next melee attack to do increased damage. Again, I'm not sure the amount of what that is, but it's nice. So that's already 2 sources of increased melee damage. Onto the gloves. I have Focusing Strike. Again, you can change this with anything. I don't know. I like kind of comboing different abilities together. Momentum Transfer, so causing damage with a grenade reduces your melee cooldown. This is grants class ability energy when you damage an enemy with a melee attack. So you're going to always have your class ability, and vice versa. I have Well of Striking. So picking up an Arc Elemental Well grants you additional melee energy. Obviously you don't really need this unless you're fighting a little bit harder enemies and you're not quite sure if you're going to get the kill. This will just give it to you a little bit quicker. You could honestly take it off and run Seeking Wells. I do that quite often. I don't find this as really handy, but you could also run Seeking Wells. So for this, I'll just plop it on, show you how that works. Basically, seeking wells, anytime you make a well, it'll travel along the ground to your character, which is pretty sweet. With the chest piece here, I threw thermal shock plating, which is a solar and arc damage resistance. Obviously super nice. You can run reserves if you want to, but I went for full damage resistance. We have melee well maker, so anytime I get a melee kill, it'll make a well. Boots. I ran bountiful wells. Anytime I make a well by getting a melee kill, it makes 2. Not worth it. And the Titan mark, you can run anything here as long as you have Font of Wisdom. This will automatically give you tier 10 intellect for 30 seconds after you pick up a well. So it's just added super speeds. And I'm running that with double bomber. So it reduces grenade cooldown when using your class ability, which I'm going to be using because I'm going to be getting it so much through melee, which is the thruster. So it's you kind of see how this all flows together. So that's that. Yeah. Guns, doesn't really matter what you use. You can use anything you want. Honestly, you could still run tractor cannon if you're fighting higher tiered enemies, and the 1-2 punch shotgun if you wanted to. But with this and using shoulder charge, it's much harder to pull off. So I don't really recommend those, but it is definitely a thing. I'm just gonna run Midas Reckoning here with corners successful. It's arc, that'll cause blinding explosions. Why not? If you have any arc heavies, throw them things on. Doesn't really matter what you use for that. But I'm gonna get into kind of showing you how it works here. I went into preservation, just the beginning here, to kind of show you how much things get to kill. It gets pretty fun. You see I'm not amplified at all. Record resistance kicked in, 24k to that guy. 48k. I don't know if I can one-shot him or not. Oh yeah, easily. Blinds this guy. Whatever you don't kill gets blinded. 40k. So it's like you see, it's less damage than the Hunter. You're not pulling off 100,000 damage. My game sound is really high or something. I don't know why it's so high. Anyway. Yeah, so you're just running around, super resistant, improved intellect, you got added melee damage, you get health after every single melee kill. You're super tanky. And yeah, you just run around, killing everything. 30k to that guy. All these wells will follow me. Pretty awesome. Let something hit you first. It'll do even more damage. Goes up to 15k from just normal little guys. 40k off him. Yeah, it's basically just a build. Around shoulder charge stuff. If you lose your melee ability, you can always use your thruster, get your grenade back. Use your grenade to get your melee back. And just keep that combo going as well. See how fast I got that thruster back? And then do it again. That's if you run out. You can just kind of combo those two abilities to get your melee back super fast. Like, it has no problem. And you're super fast. You're always amplified. Always. Anytime you get a melee kill, you're amplified. And every time you get another melee kill, it just resets it. So it's very similar to the Hunter build, but it's on the Titan. You arguably feel more faster. You just, you arguably feel faster, you just kind of can't kill as higher tiered enemies. Like, you're not going to take down bosses. Like, if I try to use it against Seraph, not gonna do a whole lot. It's definitely not for something like that. Half health after 2 hits. Okay, I guess. Anyway, yep. So if you like murdering lower tiered ads and like running through strikes or running through any content with relative ease, mind you, this is without any sort of weapons buffing anything. I highly recommend you try this build out. If this helped you in any way, if you enjoyed this, feel free to like or put a comment in the comment section. I'll get back to everybody. Again, thank you for all of the comments in the last one. I appreciate you guys. And yeah, take care.